Well, again, this is nothing new to New Mexico State, not just this year, but year in and year out. They're everyone's big game. And so now it's here in Bakersfield.
Runners all white, going right to left in this first half.
Man-to-man defense by the Aggies.
Great start.
And Buckingham, and this is what they did last game, that extra pass, the spacing on the floor. And it really worked against the Vaqueros of Rio Grande Valley. And a nice start against the Aggies.
1,000 points for his career.
How about that? Buck starts off getting a grand on his first shot of the night. A lot of good vibes happening this evening already. Greg mentioned that this is the only second time that the Runners have started this lineup. The last time we had these 5 to start, it was against Idaho. It seems like a million years ago.
Yes, exactly. Long before the WAC regular season began.
Crowd still filing in. It's going to be one of those nights.
Well, Aria Coachea is so intelligent on the low block. He doesn't look as big as some of the other guys we've seen in this conference, but man, he can play it down low.
Gilliard tried down low, didn't happen. McCants puts it up, gets it to go. We're tied at 3.
The crowd tried to give him a false count on the shot clock, and it backfired.
Can the Runners play spoiler tonight?
A lot of veteran leadership on this Aggies team. The Runners don't have a single senior.
And some great hustle by the big fella, Ronnie Reedus. Still ends up back in the Aggies' hands. They move it around well. Shot from the corner. And here comes New Mexico State.
Gilliard knocking that one down. It's been all threes thus far, and Aggies with a 3-point lead.
Matchup pretty well size-wise. Czar across the top in the corner. Edler Davis can't get it to go. Rebound, Ronnie Reedus puts it in Buckingham's hands. Buck backs up for a second. I think he thought Ronnie was just going to turn around and throw it down, but he handed it off to the co-captain. By the way, both co-captains out there to start tonight. Tajay, that's going to come up short. Ball was nicked, but I don't think the refs are going to let that fly. Short shot for Tajay.
Crowd still filing in for this one. Runners in the usual man-to-man. They probably won't deviate from that.
Gilliard tosses it out. Another long 3, and it goes up again. Johnny McCants 2 for 2. He's got 6 points.
Now they're shooting like they own this place right now. 3 for 3 from 3-point range.
I'm sure they feel like they do own it. We'll bring out some storylines about this rivalry as the evening unfolds. Ooh, Edler Davis wanted it back real quick. Buckingham kicks it out to Edler Davis. Does the co-captain have it? Ooh, back of the rim. That looked good. And Ronnie Reedus goes down hard. He and big Yvonne rattled the blue hardwood. And that's a great matchup right there. Tajay out front.
Queen finally healthy for the Aggies. They've got to be happy that he's back on the floor.
Yvonne on the post, Ronnie Reedus. Length versus size. And nice job. Edler Davis comes in for the rebound. 16.5 to go here in this first half. Tajay Moore down the far side. Tajay Moore comes in hard, strong. The ball is batted away, and it is going to stay Roadrunner basketball.
Good hands by the Aggies for the second time. That time by Jabari Rice. Earlier, Gilliard stripped Czar Perry.
3.5 minutes. Ronnie Reedus goes out. No fouls called in this game yet. Sean Stith will come in.
Everyone knows by now. Tajay Moore on the leap right there.
Oh, it doesn't matter if everybody knows, does it?
He can still throw it higher than anyone else.
They packed everybody in. Everybody knew it was going to come. Czar telegraphed it, and it still worked. Some nice defense there by the Roadrunners. Offensive rebound by Yvonne, though, and he gets fouled. He will shoot. 16:03 remains here in this first half. We're just underway. 9-5. Coach Jan's giving it some work with these players. You know, they've, as you say, it's everybody's biggest game when the Aggies roll into town. And tonight, as we've talked about, and I'm sure we'll talk about with our president at CSU Bakersfield, Lynette Zalesny, at halftime. You know, a poignant night here at the Ike Center. Bobbitt will come in. So Bobbitt comes in for Yvonne.
Dropping both those foul shots for an 11-5 lead. Sean Stith in the game. Give a little more production offensively with Stith down low than with Ronnie Reedus. And the flash right there, but Sean actually turned the wrong way and didn't see the ball.
Perry, Edward Davis in the corner.
Stith wants it down low against McCants.
Czar, nice little shot actually, just rattled off the front, then the back. Not a bad shot. A long shot goes up by Queen. Here come the Roadrunners. Buck wants to take it himself. He goes up, that ball's batted away, but a foul called beforehand. And we have our first media timeout. 11-5, the Aggies up 6. Early going here in Bakersfield on the ESPN. Great atmosphere here tonight in Bakersfield.
Both teams not shy about shooting the three thus far. They both attempted 4 threes in the first 4+ minutes of the game, as Devontae Buckingham's going to go to the line to shoot 2 for the Runners. The difference, New Mexico State's 3 of 4. The Runners are 1 of 4. Terrell Brown into the game for the Aggies. There's the block right there on the drive.
McCants, Brown, Bobbitt, Rice, and Gilliard in for the Aggies.
Foul was on Gilliard.
Stith, McCall, Edler Davis, Buckingham, and Cam Allen. And here comes Ronnie Reedus back in.
Number 0, Ronnie Reedus in for the Runners.
2 big men in here with Stith and Reedus. Edler Davis takes a seat. Justin McCall in the game. Cam Allen supplying some offense possibly. He's had some big games of late. Most notably 25 on the road. And a loss from Utah Valley.
Long shot goes up, and it goes for Bobbitt, C.J. Bobbitt.
That was actually good defense. Had a hand in his face. They've knocked down their 4th 3 in the first 5+ minutes.
They've doubled up the Roadrunners, 14-7 here. Terrell Brown out there really hassling Buckingham. McCall trying to get to the paint. Buck has a look. Right side of the rim. Ronnie Reedus battles for it, gets it. McCall back out to the top again to Buck, and Cam Allen will restart it. Boy, those kind of rebounds are huge.
Absolutely. McCall not really looking for a shot, but he should look to drive the lane with his athleticism similar to Tajay Moore.
McCall, baseline. Nice shot for McCall.
The short corner.
Aggies content to shoot outside as long as the runners give it to them. They've been hot already tonight.
Well, if you're the runners, you hope the legs get a little weary and it'll change over the course of 40 minutes, right?
There's a turnover. Tajay Moore will pop in here for...
Tajay Moore in for the Runners.
So he comes in for Buckingham. So now you got some big boys out there. A lot of length, Greg.
Well, the Rotten Reed is coming out now. Edler Davis back in.
And you've got Sean Buchanan now in. Checked in for his first minutes for the Aggies tonight.
Out of Grant, Mississippi. We talking Rod Barnes' backyard, Mississippi.
Cam steps back. Not a bad looking shot. Handled by the Aggies.
They had the roll there with
Roadrunners rotating well. Nice defense. Crowd want to travel. They don't get it. Here comes Buchanan. He kicks it back out. Long shot doesn't go. No whistle. It's going to end up.
That's going to stay with the Aggies. No call of any kind, even though it looked like might have had open back from that rebound.
Roadrunner crowd looking for a call. They don't get it. 13-14 remaining in the first half. Only a foul each. Buchanan will take it out.
They've been living off the three.
Top of the key shot doesn't go for Bobbitt.
The Aggies actually passed up the last possession, a couple 16-footers to step back behind the line.
Harry's back in for Cam Allen. Stiff, trying to get some space down there. What's a strong move.
If Sean can continue to do that and not pick up offensive fouls, he's going to be a load. Not just
Zero
tonight.
hesitation,
Moving
Greg.
forward, he had 21 in the last game.
Right to the hole.
That game against Rio Grande Valley, his best game in a long time. Runners doubled down on the big man. Remember, he had 23 in the first meeting. Get the score from the field. He does have 2 free throws.
Queen kicks it out. Buchanan pump fake. 2 on the shot clock. It goes up. Not a good shot, but oh goodness, a long rebound by Queen. And now they will get it to Yvonne for a second. He throws it out. Horrible pass. And Coach Jans.
The Aggies are content with making 1 extra pass to get the open 3. It looked great when they made 4 in the first 5 minutes. But they've missed 3 or 4 in a row.
Coach Jans lighting up Queen right now. Stiff, that's another bad angle right there. And a strip, and he still gets it back. And McCall is going to get called for that foul. So a little bit of sloppiness on both sides of the floor. Jans not happy. Media timeout, 11:42 remaining in the first half. And Coach Jans is meeting his players mid-court on the Roadrunner logo. Goodness gracious, is he hot. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. That is a coach that is very unhappy with a couple of his players, most notably the big man, Yvonne. He went off on him, met him at half court on the Roadrunner logo, stayed right in his dish all the way to the seats, stayed in his dish during the timeout. And when you're undefeated and you're the top dog and you see a little bit of slippage, partner.
Well, to his credit, Aore Koachea listened, and he didn't have really a choice, but he listened. And that shows you something about Chris Jans invested. They've got the wax sewn up. They're undefeated. They're going to be the #1 seed.
You're right.
And yet he's coaching this like they're in the NCAA tournament right now, and it's a first-round game. Or the WAC tournament, for that matter.
Well, the last thing any of the Aggies want is the final WAC game in the Icardo Center to be a victory for the Roadrunners.
And also, you just don't want to show vulnerability. You want to go into this thing undefeated and not let anyone think that they can take down the Aggies.
Free throws are made, 16-11. Aggies up 5. Tajay Moore trying to get going. Picked up his dribble after 1 or 2 dribbles, though.
It's a crowded inside. They don't really have much space in there. Shot clock down to 5.
Goodness. McCall pulls up right in front of us.
I had to. Shot clock was running down.
Yep.
Good defense as well.
Buchanan in traffic. He rotates back. Queen. Another pull for Bobbitt. Doesn't get it to go. Big rebound and an unnecessary foul.
Yeah, that's a foul for being landed on. Trevlin Queen just happened to be underneath McCall. He just gave McCall a pat and said, sorry about that. Yeah, he did reach in with his arm. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Queen will forever be remembered here for knocking down a 3 right about from where we're sitting. to win a game at the buzzer for New Mexico State.
Under 11 remaining here in this first half. Again, at halftime, we'll have the president of CSU Bakersfield, Dr. Lynette Selesny.
A little token backcourt pressure, but not much by the Aggies. Sarb Perry back in the game.
Nice seam pass to Buck. He gives it up to
Nice
Todd
pass.
Hay.
That's the spacing. That's the extra pass. It was a great first pass by Czar Perry, who then Buckingham immediately gave it up to an open Tajay Moore, who made it from about 8 feet away.
They go down on the block to Yvonne. He has to kick it out to Queen. They want to go back down to him again. Goodness.
Wow,
and nobody in the Icardo can believe that wasn't a travel.
Well, you know, that's a Euro step and a jump stop.
Goodness gracious. Coach Barnes just kind of grinned. He just incredulous, like, really? They feed into Stiff. Stiff's in trouble. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
Oh, they call it travel. Jans made the call there at the start. They travel before the foul. It's hard to see the footwork from where we were.
So
here it is. Oh no, that's the bucket.
Right. So
Koache's bucket. Reedus back in the game.
The Yvonne double hop skip is okay. Stiff.
And Rod Barnes is working the officials right now.
18-13. 5-point lead. We're under 10 minutes to go here in this first half.
Regardless of the score, anybody who's followed Roadrunner basketball would say they're playing inspired basketball like they did their last game. This is a much better brand of basketball. They look invested. They're not lethargic.
Rice back into the game. Not much happening there. They go to Big Yvonne. He gets double teamed down low. The shot gets put up by Buchanan, and it goes.
He rattles that one home. I don't know that there's a ton of scoring out there for the Roadrunners right now, to be honest with you. McCall hasn't volume scored. Edler Davis has struggled a lot of this season.
9 on the shot clock. Edler Davis puts it up, but he has McCants right in his face when he puts it up. The long arms of McCants. McCants down low, and
that's
very unfortunate because the ball was not going in.
It can't be goaltending when it was 4 feet off the rim going the other way. Chris Jans wanted it.
Well, here it is.
You'll see right here, it's on the other side of the rim when it's hit. That's a bad angle. That thing's well past the rim.
They gave him the shot. They gave him the bucket, Greg.
Did they really?
Yes. And see, he doesn't know it either. No one really knows what's going on.
No one knew.
They gave him the bucket.
Wow.
And
that was
only McCants knew that he had one shot.
I wonder if the official, we were looking at the replay, so I didn't see the official signal whether it was 1 or 2. But that's the runners asleep, alertness by McCants, and a lousy call, by the way.
Reedus harassed down low. Ronnie Reedus, he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
If they show the above angle shot from that goaltending, you'll see that ball was well past a foot past the rim.
The baseline official called goaltending immediately. And you'll see
where the ball is. It's that's still another bad angle.
And that official called it instantly.
The one from above, yeah, that's okay. That's just the one from above seems to be the one that we saw initially.
So Tajay Moore and Cam Allen are going to come in. 23-13, 10-point lead for New Mexico State. 8:18 remaining here in this first half.
This is
Edler Davis.
Edler Davis with a nice rebound. Tajay's got to look at the rim. He had a wide open 3 there.
Edler Davis with the left off the glass. What a strong move. They're having to work for every bucket.
Yeah, they are. Aggies defense,
Of course.
making them work.
Under 8.
One other thought on that goaltending, Reedus didn't need to block it. Just needed to rebound it.
Buchanan to the paint. Bad pass, another turnover. And we have a media timeout. 7.5 left here in the first half. 23-15, New Mexico State up over the Roadrunners of CSU Bakersfield. Back right after this on ESPN. I'll lead you in. Welcome back, everybody. 23-15. Controversial call in the first half and ends up being 3 points.
Well, once again, this is even a different angle there. But it's not in the cylinder. And if you're saying it's coming down, it was beyond the basket is my point. If you show it from our side of what we saw from where we're sitting, I think there's a camera behind us, yeah? If not, the angle I saw, that ball was past the rim. It literally was past the rim. Well, but I'm also willing to admit, since we may not have that angle, that I was wrong.
Well, here's the thing. The foul was called, so if Reedus had just a millisecond of thought, just let it go.
Let it go, rebound it. But it was not in the cylinder. And it was hard to say that it was coming down because it was pretty much a line drive shot. It wasn't. Either way, it's 2 points. And give McCants credit for being the only guy on the floor that knew that was a one-shot foul.
Well, yeah, the other Roadrunners did not know that they had given him the bucket because they're standing around. 7:31. Aggies up 8.
By the way, William McNair, a redshirt freshman, and he's 6'10". And he's a wide body.
Edler Davis with a nice 3 out of the timeout.
What the Runners needed, down by 10 at one point. They've cut it in half to 5.
McCants feed down low to the big guy. And you just talked about him, McNair, 6'10", 265 out of Philly.
Runners almost recovered on that.
Stiff. Comes up
no
short,
contact.
gets his own rebound, foul on that shot. Sean Stiff will go to the line.
Second time.
Coach Jans is still lighting up Yvonne, and it's because he wants to put it back in, but
that's on Terrell Brown, that foul.
Stiff at the line.
They all count. That's 3 missed free throws by the Runners. 2 by Reedus and 1 here by Stiff.
Perry and McCall back in. Nearing a packed house. Stiff misses them both. How about Edler Davis trying to keep it alive? And he does. Oh, it's a huge
Edler
bucket.
Davis with a great, 2 great plays by Edler Davis. Cutting the lead to 5 once again. For a moment, McNair was wide open as he flashed.
Rice very quick. McCall's got his hands full here. Cuts him off. Nice job. Rice battles in and out. And that's going to be an over-the-top foul. So nice job by the Roadrunners boxing out. And it looks like Yvonne's finally out of the doghouse.
Ore Coachea back in the game. Runners down by 5. You know, as I watched the Aggies in person, and we've seen many other games and their highlights and obviously the record, it seems like almost every one of their players is there.
I'll tell you what, Tajay Moore just manhandled down the middle of the key, comes up short. Edler Davis actually had the ball in his hands for a second, had it stripped.
Seems like every one of their players plays with like an alpha mentality, like they're the guy on the floor. Where some teams you have guys that are secondary or they follow the lead of others. Every guy that touches the ball for them.
Oh, the bucket counts. What a shot.
That's the case right there.
By Gilliard.
They just seem to be like, I'm the guy. Supreme confidence by everybody on that team.
Well, this coach is an administrator of heat. So the players transfer that into that alpha mentality that you're talking about. Coach Barnes has his runners fighting down 7, 27-20, not a high-scoring first half. Gilliard, three-point play. Approaching the 5-minute mark. They start with Stiff on the elbow.
Offense just a little stagnant one-on-one.
McCall tried to muscle it over McCants.
McCants has got length
pretty far.
McCants has got length, and we know Justin can jump.
Rice to Yvonne. That's another big travel. The shuffle of the feet, but no call. Goodness. Up 10 right now, the Aggies are. 4.5 remains here in the first half.
Runners need a strong 4 minutes to keep this thing in the neighborhood.
Dangerous pass. McCall able to handle it. McCall comes in, goes with the left. Nice move, just couldn't finish. Gilliard off to Rice. Quick trigger. Doesn't go. Body's flying down below.
We're going to get one on the runners. That's going to be on whoever's on the floor. Is that Edler Davis?
Edler Davis.
Tell you what, they go for the dagger, don't they? Up 10, transition, just bomb away at 3.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
McCann's off. Lob it back in. Ronnie Reedus will come in for Edler Davis.
Right.
Both teams have 5 fouls. Aggies up 10.
Nice take, just didn't get the bounce.
Tajay wants everybody out of there. He wants to do some work, but it's going to be 1-on-4. Perry back over to Tajay.
If you're going to have Tajay do that, you need a 3-point shooter at the top of the key so he can kick it for the 3.
Well, there's a great pass to Buck. How does that look? Oh, man, that looked good. Ronnie underneath, throws it back out to Perry.
See, Czar doesn't look for the 3 at all.
Well, I'd like Ronnie to turn around and break the rim. Ronnie from the free throw line comes up a little bit short. Rebound. Aggies. Well, if he could knock a couple of those down, that'd be beautiful.
It's a good shot by Ronnie, but he missed 2 of them when they were free. So that's got to be a travel. It is. Stiff with some good defense there.
10-point lead, but nice ball game right now. 3:17 remaining in this first half. It's a fun. We've got a nice one going on in here in Bakersfield. The New Mexico State Aggies up 10, 30-20. Roadrunners trying to hang with them. Boy, these Aggies, when they get hot, they stay hot.
Well, they're 5 of 11 right now for 3-point range. They're shooting 45% from the field in general.
Right.
And 45.5% from 3-point range. 5 of 6 from the foul line. So when they shoot, they usually make it. The runners, by comparison, 34% from the field.
Ball comes down to Stiff. Back out to Tajay. Cam Allen for 3. A little short. Ronnie Reedus tries to get it. Cannot.
That's twice that Tajay has passed on a 3. As the ball came right at Chris Jans wasn't real happy by Bobbitt's outlet pass. Gilliard saying it's my fault because I didn't run up the floor, that I hesitated. So Gilliard was sort of taking the blame for that. Almost hit us. I know we were open.
I don't think Jans is buying it. He's all over CJ.
No, absolutely.
Stiff. And he's fouled on the floor. That foul is going to be on Big Ivan.
Ure Koachea picks up the foul. You know, he flashes out on the defense and hedges, and the big man is open for a couple seconds. The runners just haven't been able to take advantage of the open big man with an entry pass. And then there's the big man, and I don't know that that's the shot you want, but Sean Stiff's shooting the three-pointer.
And a lightning bolt out of the gates, Evan Gilliard.
And we're going to get a foul on Cam Allen.
Cam had to foul him. I mean, Cam's quick, but
yeah,
Gilliard might be a hair quicker.
That was on the floor, so it's still, you see it right there. Cam's just trying to get in the way a little bit. Candy coming back in as well. Coming in for Gilliard.
Number 10, Justin Davis.
And Davis back in. He's been in and out like 3 times already. Sean Stiff taking a seat. Edler Davis getting up a lot of size to McCants right there. Which is okay, 40 feet from the basket.
And Reedus is going to get called for a reach from behind. McCants beat him to the spot, but I think Ronnie was going to play behind him the entire time anyway. So if you're going to let the guy have the front spot, just don't reach. Stiff will come back in. 2:18 remaining in this first half. Still a 10-point lead.
Jonathan Bass shooting 1-1.
Big crowd tonight in Bakersfield. Lazar's going to take his choices, and he starts off with Stiff up high. Edler doesn't want the hoop at all. That ball is stripped, and it goes out on Perry's knee.
Quick hands by the Aggies. It's 3 times they've had their hands on the ball and created a turnover by the runners' guards.
Try to go back door, and they get it, and a big block by Edler Davis. Coach Barnes can't believe it, and they're going to say no foul, inadvertent whistle, a block. So nice job by the officials there, inadvertent whistle. They're going to say it was tipped out by Edler Davis, much to the applause of the Icardo.
Well, that's also just a really good call by making a non-call by the official, because he basically... The call seemed like an anticipation call.
You're exactly right.
And then he corrected it.
McCants tripled. Puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. How about this? Bobbitt almost got it. Tajay Moore puts it up.
That aggressiveness will get you a trip to the foul line, and that's what the runners need.
Fouls on Queen.
You're going to see Jabari Rice coming back into the game for Queen.
Ronnie Reedus in for the runners. Jabari Rice for New Mexico State.
These are the front end of 1-on-1s that the runners need. They can't afford to just throw away scoring opportunities here down by 10.
Tajay.
And that just hurts. That's the second front end of a 1-on-1. They've missed 5 foul shots in the first half.
Bad pass. Buckingham's got it. There's Tajay. What's going to happen, Tajay? All right.
Just skip to 2. Anyway, fans love dunks, but I'll just take 2.
Well, you and I are so used to rim rattlers that under a minute, Icardo crowd chanting defense. Any kind of momentum swing at the end of a half can certainly help.
Stiff out playing defense on the 3-point line.
Rice comes across the top. Has McCants, thought he was going to go to him. 2 on the shot clock, and it's going to be an offensive foul with 36.5 seconds remaining.
Tajay was waiting on him.
So Coach Barnes pulls back McCall and comes in with Edward Davis for the offensive effort.
Edward Davis back in. Justin's had some really good hustle plays tonight.
Okay. About a 4-second differential. Runners will have to put it up in less than 20 seconds. Stith shows high. Perry declines.
Now that you see that called 50 times.
Oh, Perry loses the handle, throws it back to Buckingham behind him, and it goes off the rim. Rebound, Aggies. McCants quickly off to Rice. Rice comes in, has the ball batted away, but it's a foul. So unfortunately, the Runners did not get a real good shot and then give up a foul with 2 seconds left.
I don't know how many times I've seen this season, 50, 60 times, a big man comes out the hedge on defense, there's contact, and a foul's called. It's the kind of call that drives me nuts. But then you don't have it called right there when there was clear contact with McCants and Perry with the ball. And it turns into 2 free throws at the other end.
McCants, the red shirt junior at 6'7", 235, a Las Cruces native. Boy, he's a sharp guy. He grabbed that rebound and looked up quickly and found Jabari Rice.
I understand where I'm coming from.
Oh,
I don't mind the non-call. It's just that it's called all the time.
I completely understand where you're coming from. Rice knocks it in. Quick timeout for Coach Barnes. 10 seconds. I mean, a 10-point lead, but 2 seconds left. And we'll stay here. Hope you're enjoying all of this. I'm Vance Palm with my partner Greg Kerr. It's been a fun first half. It's nothing out of the extraordinary happening. You know, New Mexico State Aggies doing what they do. They've got a 10-point lead.
You can see why these guys are 14-0. They take every game personal. Chris Jans, he expects and demands effort and darn near perfection, at least in the effort area, from his players. Remember, this is an Aggies team that almost pulled an upset on Auburn last year in the NCAA tournament. We know how far Auburn went in that run.
His director of operations, Casey Owens, and I go way back to the G League, coach of the LA Defenders. Tajay launches one. Does it count? Comes up a hair short. So 32-22 is the score at half. Big crowd in the Icardo Center. When we come back, we'll have some highlights and some stats, and then we're going to be interviewing the president of CSU Bakersfield.
All right, Runner fans, once again, and you've seen it.
Welcome back. Well, Greg Kerr, if you're head coach Jens over at New Mexico State, what are you telling his guys? You're 20 minutes away from a perfect WAC season.
I'm telling them the same thing I've told them 14 other times, that they got 14-0 in the WAC. You know, this is a confident bunch. This is a senior-laden roster. Just tell these guys to go out and don't give any team in this league a reason to think they can beat us when it comes to Vegas in a couple of weeks.
Across half
dominate
court
the second half.
is that man.
Rod Barnes is telling them this is a dress rehearsal for Vegas. Show that you can play with these guys again as you did in Las Cruces, and let's get some confidence. He talked about lack of confidence leading into Rio Grande Valley. They need to keep the confidence alive.
Aggies start with the ball, bodies flying all over the place. Yvonne down low. He's trying to make something happen. Comes up, can't get it to go. Rebound, Ronnie Aretas.
Boy, there was a lot of contact, both sides, and nothing called.
Coach Jan's all over the officials saying, are you serious? Tajay needs to get going here.
And there's a reach in right there.
With the right hand. Oh, wow.
It's going to be on the floor, though.
Second personal, first team foul.
That was on Gilliard coming in. Look at that.
How's that?
Yeah, that's on Jabari Rice, excuse me.
They throw it into Tajay. A little bit of a sloppy inbound.
You can only go to that well so often.
And there's a good-looking shot put up by Brown. Rebound by McCants.
Brown thought he knocked it down. He was right in our line. I thought he did too, just off the mark, but it was right on line.
McCants.
And that's just the kind of start they wanted. Pretty much how they started the first half.
Shredded the net. 13-point lead early here in the second half.
Not a good pass. Too many arms in the way there to try to do a cross-court pass like that.
Everything the Roadrunners do tonight in the second half has to just be perfect. Everything, offensively, defensively, everything has to be executed just perfect. Zara comes in, puts it up, can't get it to go, battles for it down low, but Yvonne ends up with it.
This Aggies team can, with a couple more threes, can just throw a knockout punch at you.
Gilliard floats it up to Yvonne, can't handle it. Here comes Tajay Moore. Tajay's got numbers if he wants it. Tajay comes up, lays it in.
McCants went for the reach on the steal, didn't get it. Didn't want to create the contact.
And the Icardo crowd gets to sit down.
Much needed bucket as well for the Runners. I tell you what, Aggies big man says a lot of moving screens.
Brown puts it up, looks good.
Great shot.
Is good.
Great shot. I mean, you watch a lot of basketball these days, the way basketball is called, and I'll reference this again, but Ulrey Coachea twice set picks that I've seen called fouls many times. And it doesn't speak to what he's doing, it speaks to the consistency in what is a foul and what isn't a foul, much like in the NFL, what's pass interference and what isn't pass interference. As a fan, I'd just like to know.
Edler Davis misses from up top. McCants kicks it over. The big fella tries to go in on Reedus. Reedus shuts him down. Now Yvonne comes down and throws it down.
Oh, my goodness.
You can see that coming. Once he got below the backboard, it was coming. And Rod Barnes wants a quick timeout. It's a 16-point lead with 16:44. We'll take a break. Back after this on ESPN.
Well, let me tell you, it finally dawned on me what I'm seeing here with New Mexico State and the core of fans that they brought with them as well. This reminds me of CSUB basketball when they played Division II. Unlike any team that's come into this gym in the WAC and even outside the WAC, but certainly in the WAC, New Mexico State comes in here expecting to win. They have expectations of excellence. I've seen Grand Canyon come in here. We've seen them all come in here. And when they come in here, they try to win. They hope to win. They think they might win. New Mexico State's a different breed when it comes to that. That's what CSUB basketball was back in the Division II days, and they're trying to capture that now.
Fouls down low on the big fella. Yvonne gets called.
15, third personal. Team second.
So Bobbitt's coming in for Yvonne. And with him coming right over to his head coach right in front of us. Well, that was painless.
No one really in foul trouble in this game. Cam Allen, and they might need his jumper. He had a career-high 25 a couple games ago. They used some of that.
Tajay pulls up, gets it to go. Still a 14-point lead.
And they're not coming easy. That was not the easy shot. The really hard thing against this Aggies team is putting together a string, a run of points.
They're really trying to work Bobbitt down low. Can't get it to him, and McCants, the tallest players at the top of the key. Gilliard doesn't get it to go. Battle for it down low, and I think that foul. Oh goodness!
I think Jabari Rice might have gotten hurt by the broom. He slid into the broom and hit it in such a way that the broom ricocheted and hit him in the face, I think. That's one of your honor injuries.
Media timeout. 40-26. Aggies, New Mexico State.
And welcome back to the Icardo Center, Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm and Jabari Rice. He actually came away from this smiling. Let's see that angle right there, but there's a mop on the other side. And he got hit by it right there. And he even smiled about it. He's a little dazed, but he had a smile on his face afterward, like, did anybody see that?
Yeah, you know who saw it? The kid with the broom.
Yeah, the kid with the mop, exactly. The kid even laughed. Glad he's okay.
15:47 remaining in regulation. The Roadrunners going to have to do something very special to take away this mojo, if you will, of the Aggies.
Close to 5 seconds there.
And a wide open look, and it should have gone, but an unbelievably easy offensive rebound, not handled.
Yeah, Bobbitt just couldn't handle it, and the Runners come away with it. They're very fortunate.
Tajay Moore.
That's one of the some of the most space Stiff has had the entire game, and he gave it away. Now McCants had his hand wrapped around Stiff, and nothing was called. He literally had his hand wrapped around him. You could see his hand on the white jersey, and absolutely nothing was called.
Well, we just missed it, but I can tell you this, and it's almost as if Tajay just kind of overthought that. He had an open three, and then he tried to feed it down to Stiff. A second too late, and with the quickness of that Aggie defense. A lot of time left for the Roadrunners, but they've got to really be precise in everything that they do. Oh, Gilliard's so quick. Brown starts off with McCants up high. Stiff on him.
Stiff doing a really good job of not being foul prone this game.
McCants will pull the trigger from there. He comes in, and that's going to be a foul down
then
low.
He picks up a foul.
Well, he saw McCants take off.
That was a good foul. Tajay Moore once out of the game. He's tapping his head. He's gassed. I think Tajay wants out.
Number 10, Justin Edler-Davis into the Runners.
Tajay's going to take a seat for a while, get a blow, get back in. And when Trevelyan Queen gets back to, full cardio from being out most of the season, this team's just going to be that much more dangerous.
Gilliard, not his best look, along with some pretty hardy Roadrunner defense. 14.5 here left in regulation.
Cam Allen 3 here would be nice.
Allen weaving through traffic, has it stripped right out of his hands by Bobbitt.
They do a great job with help defense. Their hands are always in the right place.
Queen to McCants. McCants down low, kicks it in the corner. It comes back out high. Look at this.
Terrell Brown knocking it down.
A 17-point lead. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. 10 on the shot clock, and the Roadrunners having problems just passing it 2-3 feet away.
I thought I just saw the Globetrotters.
Cam Allen just can't shake Brown. Over to Buck. Buck has to put it up. Not the best shot. McCants for the rebound.
That might have been the shakiest possession I've seen in a long time.
And now the New Mexico State fans oohing and awing as their team starting to really feel it.
They're a step quicker than the Runners right now, and the Runners look a little confused.
Queen. And it rattles in. And the largest lead of the game, now 19 for the Aggies. At the 13-minute mark left in regulation, Coach Barnes is going to call another timeout. And the Aggies faithful that traveled over to the Golden State feeling golden themselves back right after this. 30. Vance Palm here alongside Greg Kerr. Final Western Athletic Conference game inside the venerable, iconic Icardo Center, and right now the New Mexico State Aggies stamping their name all over it. As much as the Roadrunner faithful, everybody wants a big W for this last one. The Aggies on the edge of history here, going undefeated. If they can finish up strong. On the shot clock. Tajay picks up his dribble, in trouble, gets it to Stith. Stith puts the ball on the floor and gets fouled. That's by
a fortunate foul.
McNair.
It's on the freshman. Fortunate foul there too, because another shaky possession. You know, you're down by 19. You probably want to try to get a couple threes. Tajay's got the ball at the top of the key, but he's kicking it out to a non-3-point shooting guy in Czar Perry, who's open on the wing, but he doesn't shoot threes.
Stith, cold from the line tonight. McCall will come in for DeMonte Buckingham.
Now, the Runners are 2 of 8 from the foul line.
Yeah, I shouldn't just say Stith.
Yeah.
CJ, 10!
Gets that to go. Pressure by the Roadrunners. Tajay almost got that. And they're going to need that for 12:38. This is the final game of the regular season.
And the interchangeable parts. The Aggies right now have 2 starters on the floor.
Aggies will welcome Cal Baptist into their arena for their last game. Queen pulls up, doesn't get it to go. A high bounce, and it goes off the backboard. Jans thought the shot was taken a little too early. Tajay from the corner.
Chris Jans is going to make a substitution right away.
Yeah. He thought that shot went up too quick for him, and then...
Well, if you're not covering the shooter, you're going to come out of the game. We're going to see Terrell Brown coming back in. Stith can really cheat as long as he doesn't let McNair get to the basket. McNair's not really a shooter.
Oh, the patience of Jabari Rice. He just kind of went in and just yo-yoed back and forth and played with it back and forth. And media timeout. 11:42 remains in regulation. 15-point lead for the Aggies. I'm Vance Palm with Greg Kerr, but you would never know it by the demonstrative discussions that head coach Chris Jans has with his players, and he has 4-year seniors that he's getting after pretty hard. To Greg's point, my partner, they're trying to make a definite statement as they finish the WAC and go into the tournament.
Well, I also believe this. They're not taking anything for granted here. You got to win the WAC tournament. We know anything can happen. In fact, the Runners are the only team that really knocked them out of a tournament with that shot by Diedrich Basel a number of years ago. As Rice makes the first. Chris Jans is also coaching this team up to not be a first-round exit team in the NCAA.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. I was going to bring that up a little bit later. He wants the WAC to get deep, you know?
And they almost upset Auburn, and Auburn had a great run with Bruce Pearl.
In many ways, this final WAC game for the Runners sets up a great environment for them tonight. You know, it's not just another game.
And again, if you are going to win the WAC tournament, you're going to see this team again.
Tajay. And Tajay can't do that.
He's going to get called for delay a game on the ball going through the hoop. At times, Tajay, no matter what gym he's in, is the most athletic guy out there. He just shows flashes of it at times. Sometimes, as you mentioned earlier, he's in a little bit of too of a hurry. Sometimes overthinks things. You know, he's got to sort of dial it down sometimes. But man, oh man, he's special.
And this is a time where he could be really special for these Roadrunners. A trap, they finally get it to Rice. Oh, man.
The Aggies do a really good job when somebody's trapped with the ball in terms of coming toward the ball.
McCants tried to get it in the corner. It was tipped by Buck.
When they saw that trap, all three Aggies that were down near the key pulled out to the top of the key in different spots asking for the ball to, you know, be an outlet of some kind. It's intelligent basketball. It's only
6
7
on the shot clock, right.
Don't know if they know that. That's too late.
They don't.
They don't.
And frankly, you got to let your players know.
That was a case of maybe assuming they knew what the shot clock was. Showing some full court pressure here. Nothing really of it.
A 15-point lead for the Aggies. Ton of time left.
Yeah, a couple buckets would get some energy in this building. Tajay's feeling it offensively just with aggressiveness.
Didn't get the call, but boy, he's working it. Look at Tajay go, and he gets fouled by McCants. Tajay's starting to do
Tajay is
what he can do.
Tajay's trying to infuse the rest of the team with some energy. You had 5 Tajays out there. Blow the roof off this place.
That's a great point, Greg.
I mean, somebody's got to want to get angry and fight. And I'm not saying they aren't trying. Brad Barnes' team always showed good effort. But at some point in time, you just got to get a little angry at the result you see on the scoreboard. And make a free throw. Man, oh man. 3 of 10. Tajay won again there.
Very unique situation tonight, Greg. The last home game for the Roadrunners, and it was not senior night.
No, because there's no seniors. And not a one.
So,
junior night.
This crowd, you know, is going to see this team again.
In the Big West.
In the Big West, and
along with a couple of recruits.
Tajay.
Let me say, too, McCants had a nice block on that foul. I don't know what the foul must have been somewhere else, but McCants did a nice job denying
Runners
the bucket.
Putting a lot of pressure on them. They're going to have to take some risks. Rice.
They got a lot of trapping going on.
To Bobbitt.
It's a very intelligent Aggies team. You just don't want to give them the easy two.
Reedus down low, guarding McCants.
Rice is wide open in the corner.
Bobbitt to Rice. Great effort by the Roadrunners.
That's what you want them to do, though, is make them play a little faster than they want to. Sometimes those jumpers don't fall.
Let's see if they try to put it back in Tajay's hands. Under 10 now. Under 10 in regulation.
Well, with Buchanan on him, I'm keeping Tajay in the post.
They float it to him. Turnaround.
That's trying to do too much. That was not a good shot. Tajay should either go to the hole or find someone open.
Could have had someone flash. Perfect.
Yeah. That's another problem sometimes is one guy with the ball and 4 guys standing around. Runners showing
14-point lead right now for the Aggies. And I think the Aggies would be fine just winding that clock down. They're good with a zone. Bobbitt. There's a wide open look, a little bit long, and
the get-go.
Big effort on the glass by both teams. Roadrunners end up with it.
Tajay looks a little gassed again.
Under 9 in regulation. Very low-scoring affair, 47-33.
Oh, they had
Ronnie Reedus had a nice pick and roll. McCall, he spins, he comes in, he puts up a tough shot, but it goes. What an angle.
When you're a big man, though, and you roll, you got to flash your hands. You got to show your hands. You don't just roll. Put your hand up and ask for it.
Coach Jans wants a timeout. He asks for Ivan. Ivan's going in, 47-35, 8:29 remaining here in regulation. Back right after this.
Runner fans,
Welcome back to Bakersfield. Vance Palm, Greg Kerr. What are you looking at, partner?
Well, if this were a game of 2-point buckets, it'd be a different game. But right now, the Runners are being outscored by 15 from three-point range and by 5 at the foul line. And that 5 at the foul line is despite the fact that both teams have shot 11 free throws. It's just the Runners have been an anemic 4 of 11, and New Mexico State 9 of 11. They're 8 of 20 from three-point range. The Runners just 3 of 13.
On the shot clock. Gilliard puts it up, doesn't go. Ball batted back out. Rice picks it up.
And the shot clock back to 20.
McCants stopped at the block, kicks it back out. A wide open look for Brown.
Brown gives a smile to the fans.
Brown had something to say to the courtsiders.
Yeah, he had a couple threes over there that have juiced up the Aggies bench right next to us.
50-35, 7.5 remaining. McCall has an open look. How about this? Edler Davis just comes flying in, back over to Czar Perry. They throw it back out again.
And again, Czar's not going to take that shot. Unless he has to. He did against Rio Grande Valley, and he made it.
Perry down low to Stith. Stith with a nice strong move. Sean Stith up and in. McCants wide open for a 3.
And they're just killing it. That's 10. 10 threes by the Aggies.
Greg, there wasn't anybody within 8 feet of them.
Yeah, well, if they're playing by 3s and you're playing by 2s, you're in trouble.
Tajay's going to come back in. Buckingham's going to come back in. 53-37.
That's 2 offensive threats that they need back in.
Boy, this is the proverbial gut check time right here for the Runners. Perry trying to do something at the hole, gets shut down. Edler Davis. McCall looking baseline. McCall muscles his way in and gets it.
Czar Perry, and I love his game, his speed, everything about him, but he doesn't shoot the 3, and his...
That's got to be 3 seconds. Yeah, I was seeing it, and Coach Barnes was yelling it.
They still call that. Czar Perry's athleticism is negated by the athleticism of this New Mexico State defense. He's not scored tonight, and he doesn't shoot the 3. And quite frankly, and I'm not one to say, hey, you should bench somebody, but what he does best, New Mexico State guards so well.
They're countering it.
Absolutely. And so Czar Perry, although he runs the point, does a great job, is not a threat to shoot the 3. And when you're down by 14 with 5:50 to go, you need the Buckinghams and the Edler Davises who are out there.
Oh. Trevelyan Queen's back in.
Nice.
How about
Steal
this?
by
Edler Davis. Oh. He had Tajay for a second. Look at this.
Rod Barnes wanted full court pressure. He didn't get it. He was imploring it. Queen knocks down another 3. And I'm here to tell you, 3s add up quicker than 2. And they're answered every 2 with a 3.
Well, that was a big bucket for Trevelyan Queen. He's been in the doghouse for about 6 or 7 minutes, and he's come back on the floor and instantly provides a big comeback 3 for New Mexico State. 9 on the shot clock. A lot of time getting these points. Stith wants to go to work on the big fella, and he gets fouled again.
That was the body on the spin move.
So Yvonne fouls, Bobbitt comes in.
So that's 4 on the big man. He's the only guy in foul trouble with 4:50 to go and a 15-point lead. Could be worse.
Tajay's going to start the offense up top, and he's got Brown covering him. 9 in the shot clock. Something needs to be initiated. Bad pass.
Bad pass.
Queen waiting for it, and here comes Brown.
Their fast break is to pull up, shoot a 3.
If it's not absolutely super clean, they'll pull it back, and the second they do, Coach Janziel's motion. It's almost like he waits for them to decide, and then he makes the call. Brown off to the left. Buckingham with a rebound. We're at the 4-minute mark here in a few seconds. 15-point lead still. Buckingham comes in. Buckingham with a move. A little bit crazy, and that's going to be a foul on Sean Stiff. Justin McCall will come back in. So
neither team in the bonus yet.
Stiff picks up his 3rd.
Reedus in for Stiff. Mop guy getting his work in.
4 minutes, 1 second in regulation. New Mexico State has that amount of time to close this out and be perfect with 1 more game at home.
You know, the record says so, but seeing it in person, this is the best team in the WAC. You can see why.
Shot from the corner, doesn't go. Rebound, McCall. Everything needs to be up-tempo, and that's the last thing that needs to happen. Media timeout, 3:26 remaining. 3:26 remains here in Bakersfield. I'm Vance Palm with Greg Kerr, 56-41. Greg and I were talking about next week, next Thursday night, March 5th, at New Mexico State. Cal Baptist coming to town. That's a nice ball game, but boy, if you're a man that likes to put down a little dosh for entertainment purposes only, that's going to be a tough game for Cal Baptist to pull out, with the Aggies looking at a possible 15-0 season.
Absolutely. Full court press here.
And a foul away from the hole.
Devontae Buckingham with a few words for the official there. He's being patient, just listening to him right now.
Well, look, we're 3:17 remaining in regulation. Both teams only 5 fouls.
Yeah.
The Runners in a 2-3 zone, down 15.
That's just a,
Gilliard, he's off the mark. Reedus with the rebound, has it stripped out. New Mexico State fans can't believe it.
I'll say this, though. If you're playing a zone right now down by 15, and they're getting open shots against your zone, and they've already shot, 22 threes? No, they've shot 27 threes. 27 threes they've attempted. You're not going to force turnovers here, and the clock is just going to melt away. So we're under 3 minutes. I don't think any of us sees a 15-point lead going by in the next 3 minutes. But I'm surprised they're in the zone.
Tajay losing the rock again, somehow comes up with it, throws it to Stiff. Stiff misses.
Good hands by Trevelyan Queen.
Yeah.
Get that ball away from the rim. This is just shooting practice.
Terrell Brown knocks another one down.
Brown's feeling it on both ends of the floor, both sides of the floor, I should say.
Back up to an 18-point lead right now with 2:09 remaining in regulation. Tajay Moore muscling his way to the hole, not going to get it.
And this is turning into
A little sloppy.
Well, it's turning into playing out in the park, offensively. It's just one guy taking the ball and going to the hole and 4 guys watching and hoping to get a rebound. I mean, I'm not criticizing Tajay as much as I am just saying it seems like just an act of desperation. Give it to the athletic guy and see if he can score on him.
Reed is coming in for...
Not to mention he's a little gassed.
Very much so. Stiff, so Reed is in. We're below 2 minutes now.
And by the way, Aggies don't quit shooting threes. It doesn't matter what the score is. They're up 18. They'll shoot another 3, probably this possession. Oh,
Rice.
He had to step in on the ball fake.
McCall to Edler Davis. Quick trigger, beautiful. Coach Barnes calls a quick one. Stop time, 59:44. 1:31 remaining here in regulation. Welcome back, everybody. 1:31 remaining here in regulation. Our final game of the season together. Greg, as always, considered a real privilege and honor to call these live CSUB Roadrunner games with you. We've been friends a long, long time. And
absolutely.
You're the dean of local sports, and for a former Roadrunner player to be able to get together with you all these home games, I sure love it. Thanks for the time, buddy.
I'll tell you what, when Jerry Scott recently went into the Bob Elias Hall of Fame, the 20-year NCAA official, I did a lot of digging in the archives to find some video of Jerry, and I ran across a Vance Poem playing basketball for the Roadrunners back at the convention center. It was great video.
You know me, throwing it down.
Okay, I'll go with that. You still have your hair. That's the thing.
That's all that matters.
Father's guy like me.
That's all that matters. 6 on the shot clock.
Doesn't matter.
Rice comes up, puts it up, and shot clock violation. Exactly 1 minute remains. So it looks as though the Roadrunners have moved to 12 and 18.
44 has got to be maybe their lowest output of the season, yeah? The other 44 points. I know they had one really low-scoring game earlier this year. 49 against Gonzaga. What's that tell you? Gonzaga held them to 49, and the Aggies on their home floor.
Perry.
That's a gimme, too. 46.
Bobbitt, breakaway.
Nice hands by DeMarcus.
Strip, and it's still live.
That Town kid's getting a lot of action. He just had Bobbitt sit in his chair.
McCall, and that's going to be an offensive foul. The crowd can't believe it. Jans is still irate at Bobbitt for not pulling the ball out.
I got it.
So, it looks as though okay, all right.
Give the runners credit, even though there's no need to press. They're showing the effort. And here's another.
No, I can tell you this: Queen's not shooting.
There's a 9-second differential. I'd be interested to see what kind of shot they are going to take. Just don't foul.
Queen throws it down to Brown. The shot has to go up. Gilliard puts it up. Wow. Tajay Moore floats one up. That does not make it. So it looks as though the runners will move to 12 and 18, 6 and 9 in WAC play, and the Aggies 24 and 6, 15 and 0 in WAC play. Greg, your final thoughts?
we saw what 15-0 looks like. Very impressed. This is a team that not only plays well, they play with confidence. They know what they're doing. As I mentioned earlier, almost every guy on this team seems like they're an alpha guy when they have the ball. They don't look to others. They attack. And what, they shot 30 threes, 30 of them.